Hello, everyone. This is Chala Dincoy, CEO and founder of The Repositioning Expert. I'm here featuring another amazing business on my podcast, The Naked Marketing, where we talk honestly about our marketing mistakes so none of you ever have to make these expensive mistakes. Welcome, Jules and Stace from OME Gear.
Thank you so much. Great to be with you, Chala.
Yeah, and I love the fact that I always thought that that was a lovely living room, and it is a what?
It's an RV. It's an RV, and since we're live, I'll give you a little quick nickel tour. There it is, the front and the back.
It's the minimalist living. You know, I love it. I always watch those shows where you have the tiny homes, and it's kind of like that, right?
It is a lot like that. Just like it.
All right. So tell us what it is that you do and who you help.
So we're an outdoor gear company. So Jules and I have invented and developed this product called the Wonder. And that's with 2 R's, and it's a 5-in-1 concept. So it's a hauler. So it's a cart that holds up to 150 pounds of gear. And then once you get to where you're going, you can unload it. And then you have the choice of a low beach chair, a high camping chair, a lounger, or a camping cot. So anytime you need to go somewhere, haul stuff and have a seat when you get there, this is the solution for you.
That sounds amazing. Now, who is your typical target?
It's interesting. Initially, we thought it would be women who purchase, so their husbands or they don't have to be the pack mule. What we found is that it's actually about 50% women, 50% men who are the buyers of this. It's people who frequent the outdoors and have gotten tired of beach wheels making promises that don't deliver. And so they load up all their stuff on these carts, hoping that they'll be easy to pull in sand, and they don't work. And so not just the beach though. So it's anybody who has kids, soccer games outside, or they go camping, or they go tailgating, or they go fishing. Anybody that needs to carry stuff somewhere outdoors and then have seating options would be a great customer.
And the thing about the Wonder is that actually carries all your stuff. And so it's not just a wagon. You can only put your cooler in or put everything in, and you can't take your cooler. It actually fits everything that you need to haul wherever you're going to go.
That's amazing. So how did you start getting the word out, and how do you market today?
Yeah, so it's been a journey, honestly. Like anybody's startup, it's been a journey where the original concept was my mom and dad's, and then we picked it up and completely redesigned it into what it is today. So we've been, honestly, we sold our house to invest the equity into our company and bought an RV, wrapped it in our branding, and now we're traveling the US for 18 months building our brand. We can do that. We don't have kids, and we're married. And so we're able to kind of pack everything up and hit the road. So that's been incredible for us.
So if you see us going down the road, give us a honk.
You can't miss
Are you coming up to Canada, I hope?
No, hopefully,
we would love to.
Hopefully someday. But I mean, I think it's that we've made a lot of marketing mistakes in hiring the wrong people. So we'll probably get into that. But for us, we're going to market sort of multi-channel. So we're going direct to consumer, and we're going retail. So specialty retailers, so the smaller, retail shops, but also the bigger ones where, like, we're in True Value. We'll be in, all 14 of their DCs. So we'll be national right away coming out of the gate. So we're kind of doing a multi-channel, omni-channel approach.
But as far as marketing, and it's finding the right place to be, so we market on Facebook and Instagram and all your social media channels, but finding the right shows. Like, we would have never met True Value, one of our number one customers at this point, if we didn't go to the National Hardware Show. And so it's really finding where we need to be, and then show up and be there and ready to have the conversations with our target market.
Are you getting any, and I think the reason why we met in the first place is because we're both woman-owned, certified. Is that giving you any leg up?
Oh man, in some ways, yes. We're really excited to go back to the WeBank annual event. So we're really excited because I feel like we'll have great conversations with people there. We've missed that not happening because of COVID.
Yeah.
I would say people respect the right people respect the fact that we're women owned. It's
Mhm.
actually been challenging too, to be two founders that are female in the outdoor space where we're manufacturing an innovative product where people, it's interesting at trade shows, people will come up and say, oh, who's the inventor? Where is he? And that assumption is made,
Yeah.
and we're like, well, we are. And they're like, oh, I'm sure you had help with it. We're like, no, actually they're like, oh, well, are you engineers? And we're like, nope, not engineers. We're just two women who saw a problem, and we came up with a solution based on my mom and dad originally creating the first concept, the 2-in-1, and we changed it into a 5 or 6-in-1. So yeah, how would you answer that? Do you think being certified women owned has been?
I mean, it got us the last time we were able to be in person at one of the WeBank events. We met UPS, so yes, it got us a partnership with UPS, which has been invaluable to us. But as far as helping us find funding for our company, that has not had anything to do. I mean, it's not even been a blip in the radar. I mean, that has not helped us at all, being the women owned certified. And I think that's, along with marketing and being women owned and is finding funding is one of the biggest challenges we've had. But that has not helped us. But I feel like the women owned, we're able to government contracts, getting into the government is going to be, it will help us. That's what we're in the process of doing right now. And we just got WOSB certified as well.
Yeah, because I mean, I think I wrote an article about this during International Women's Day, that only 2.4% of venture capital goes to women-owned businesses.
Yeah.
And you're telling me you sold your house to be able to get the money. So obviously you're like a living example of how, women business owners have to bootstrap, which, God bless you for being able to do that, and to use whatever means at your disposal to then introduce yourself through the chain, for sure. I mean, yeah. So the challenge is real.
The challenge is real.
The challenge is real. And I would say being women owned is an arrow in our quiver that we pull out at every opportunity that we can. Our goal, we love this product. We love this company, OME Gear. Obviously, we're all in, we're fully committed. But we often say that this product is the means to an end it's more of creating a platform of influence where we grow it quickly. In 3 to 5 years, people start to take notice. And then we get the right to be influential for other female founders, right? And that's our whole goal, is to grow something so that then we can turn around and really invest back into female founders.
Yeah, that's the dream. That is definitely the dream, because the lip service is there, but the money, you need the money. You don't need to sell your house.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. So talk to me about what kind of how your marketing differs when it goes from B2B to B2C, and whether that's like equal parts of your business right now.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would say the way that we market B2B is trade shows and events. That's really kind of our primary way, but we're also pretty networked in the outdoor space. And so other outdoor founders will share and make introductions to other retail accounts for us, and we'll do the same thing for other, trusted friends in the industry. So I would say those would be our two main ways. Would you agree? Going B2B?
Yeah.
And then going B2C, it's also events, because Stacy and I are on the road. And so everywhere we go, we're a traveling billboard, right? And so we're staying RV parks, and we're demoing our product every day to people walking by, scanning the QR code, wanting to see a demo, wanting to meet us. So that would be one. We're literally going back to sort of grassroots marketing, where the founders are out on the road building this company one wander at a time. But I would say the other thing that we've done is we've really, because we want to grow and grow quickly, quickly, grow sustainably, obviously, but grow quickly, is we've outsourced a lot of functions that we're not experts at. One of those is marketing. I mean, I think that we know enough, certainly to be dangerous, but not to grow a company in the exponential way that we're wanting to.
Right.
And so, you know, again, it's choosing the right marketing partner has been a massive challenge for us. I believe we have the right one now, but it was very hard to come by. And so for us going to market D2C, we do events where it's consumer events, which is great because our product is so demonstrable. When you see it, we always get one of three reactions. It's always a wow. And then it's either a follow-up with the holy SHIT, you know, or it's I wish I would have thought of that. Right. So every time we demo it, we get one of those three reactions. And so our product is, you just get it when you see it. And so to be able to be in front of somebody demoing it for the DTC sales is really important. So the next best thing is videoing, right? So we have worked really hard at getting quality videos made so it can do almost everything that we can do without being there in person.
Right.
I mean, your roadshow almost lends itself to a grassroots kind of YouTube series, if you will, of, you know, the adventures of kind of thing. Because I mean, how many people sell their homes and hit the road to, you know, and have a cross country adventure to sell and market their product? I almost wish, and I have no idea. We'll talk about this when we get into the naked marketing mistake. Tell me about this marketing mistake that you kind of alluded to earlier. What was the biggest, most expensive one?
Well, there's been several, to be honest. I mean, we first, in the very beginning, we hired a company that Jules had worked with prior at a prior company, and we trusted they were the right partners. After going to a trade show, they didn't do any marketing for us before we got there.
Where we won awards.
Where we won big awards. Didn't set up any meetings, and I just, they were a small boutique, and they were women owned, so we wanted to support that women owned. That was one, but you know, quickly after that trade show, after we had spent a lot of money with them, we said, you know, we just can't continue to hemorrhage money and not get any results. And then there has been a couple of the same kind of, we've tried to support the women owned companies, but honestly, they disappointed us. They come in with all these grand ideas, the founders do, and then they hand us off to a junior, and we never hear from the founders again, and there's just no results. And we're just continuing to pay this big money. So I feel like that, and we just didn't vet them. We trusted in the very beginning they were going to do what they said they were going to do. And then they go good for it. You know, you have to have that dating period, and they go good while we're dating, and then we finally jump in and get married, and then it is not good. And so I feel like we've learned from our mistakes, that we are trying to vet people more thorough, ask the right questions. You know, when you don't know what the questions to ask in the beginning, so we're learning what questions we need to ask, bringing on someone, we have a branding manager, bringing him on to help us vet these people and ask the hard questions. So I feel like we've flexed that muscle enough, and we're continuing to build that muscle as we go. Will we still make mistakes? Absolutely. But I feel like that we are now becoming more, we're becoming smarter, where we can ask and we can hold people accountable to what they said they were going to do in the beginning.
That's great. So you said you had somebody in place right now that you had hired for your marketing. And what part of your marketing and what are they doing for you? Is it strategy, or is it implementation? Is it shows?
Yeah, no. So they're doing four components. They're doing our email marketing. They're doing our PR. They're doing our Facebook ads and Google, and they're managing our influencers. So they're really managing those four components with our brand manager, like Stace said. He's working hand in hand with them.
And I think the difference with this company compared to the other companies that we've brought in, they're focused on the outdoor gear space.
Special.
So the founder has spoken year after year at the Outdoor Retailer Show. So he's really connected in that space. They understand who the players are, who the influencers are. There's not a big learning curve for them. And I would say that you made a good point that we've learned the right questions to ask. And I think the biggest thing is activity does not equal revenue and results.
ROI, yeah.
ROI. And so and marketing is changing every day. And I honestly sort of think marketing firms, agencies are going by the wayside. They're having to reinvent themselves and understand where marketing is right now. And it's changing every day. So you can't be, as a marketing agency, you can't be who you were 3 months ago. I mean, you have to constantly be reinventing yourself to be able to be relevant in the industry. And so I think it's learning that a bunch of activity does not equal ROI. So really pushing for results as opposed to activity and noise.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you, so there were a couple of questions that came to mind to help our audience. How do you vet the agency, and what questions would you recommend asking? At least one or two that you can recommend.
One, our branding manager always pushes us on is ask for references.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they will give you references to talk to other companies, then they have nothing to hide. So that is one question that we've learned to ask. We would like to see references. We would like to talk to someone else. And I mean, you do that with job interviews.
Sure.
They ask for references. So, so anyway, so we asked for that. And when we asked what we did this time is this new marketing company was a referral from someone else who had used them before. So we took that as a really good sign, but it was someone in the outdoor space. So we knew that they came in with already working in the outdoor gear space.
Yeah. And the other thing I would say add on to that is that what are the metrics that they measure success by? Is it, we've sent out 10 emails this month for you, or the emails converted into this amount of sales, right? That's a really big different measure of success. And so on all those different, any area that they're working in, what are the top 3 metrics that we can measure your success by?
I know.
And then hold them to that.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I can totally hear your PwC background in there. Without a benchmark, you have nothing. Absolutely. Yeah, no, you guys have just given me a great idea for another blog, Burned by a Referral, because you have no idea how many times I've been burned by somebody who was referred to me, and how many of my clients have been burned by a referral, because it really has to do with, one, whether they're a specialist in that industry that you're trying to penetrate. 2, they have to be a specialist in the need that you have at that time in your business. And they could be wonderful at one thing, but if that's not what you need, then that's not what you need. And then it has to be a relatable previous experience that is referring you. I found that, they love them to death and it's their next door neighbor, and they kind of know what they do, but they don't really know the application of what it needs to be. And then of course the metrics of success is really huge.
The one other thing that I would say that's so huge is do not sign any contracts. If a marketing firm is worth their weight in gold, they will be just as driven to keep your business rather than lock you into 6 months or 12 months or whatever it is. So for us, we have gotten massively burned by signing a year contract and then